Okay, so this is the process that got us 1.7 million worth of leads and 251 leads in 22 days with $0 spent on literally $0. This is also the process that we use in order to get calls booked with people who actually self-book, without us having to do anything, So just wanted to show you, that we're not like out here saying that we do something and we don't really do it. We actually practice what we preach and schedule calls, using this process. So yeah, so I'll basically like break it down. But if you do need help like with something like this, if you want to get people that actually book, that self-book with you, you want to get more sales calls with people who are looking for what you do, so that way you don't have to do hundreds of sales calls. You can go ahead and go down below in the description. There's going to be a video that you can watch, and it's going to break down like how we can help. If you like what you see, please schedule a call, only if you like what you see. If you feel that, something like this could work for you, go ahead and schedule a call. So that's going to be down below. Cool. So before like actually go into the actual process, let me actually show you what most people are doing, which is you send a message on LinkedIn, Facebook, or X or IG, and then from there, hopefully, they go on a call, and from there they become a client. That's the typical sales process, and that's what most people are doing. 99.9% of people are doing this stuff, and it's not working because most people are already doing it, and only just a few actually make it work, So in this case, I'll show you like another way for you to do things. But before I do so, let me actually show you like a typical message. Hey Greg, this is a message I've received, by the way. Hey Greg, not sure if you caught the email prior regarding our recent Aviante integration. Speaking with users in the past, we know that what a pain it can be to have BD workflows. I don't even know what that is. And yeah, as a result, current Aviante users save 8 hours per week. Would you have time this next week to chat about how, the message is not clear, it's not a good message, and that's why like most of the time, you'll see that if the person sends like 500 messages, 500 of those, typically the reply rate is going to be 10 to 20%. Most likely it's going to be closer to 5 to 10%, From there, let's say, that they end up booking calls, typically the booking rate is going to be 1%, so they're going to get 5 calls out of those 500 messages that they've sent, which is awful. The show rate is going to be 40%, which is terrible. So that's 2 calls taken. And then finally, the close rate is going to be 5%. Why? Because they don't know you, like you, and trust you. That's the problem with this kind of method, is that people don't like you, know you, and trust you. Therefore, they don't close. And you end up like thinking, okay, maybe I have like a sales issue. Maybe I don't know how to close deals, or maybe I'm not the right person, or maybe I need to hire a closer. But most of the time, you'll notice that like you have more of a marketing problem rather than a sales problem, and you end up with like almost like no clients closed, or if you're lucky, you might close one, and if you charge like an average of 5,000, that would be an extra 5,000 for you. That's the old way. Now, really like what you need to get out of, you need to get out of the hamster wheel, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's why like I want to present you with the new way in this case. The new way is basically, instead of like just creating a random list of prospects, you actually would want to find prospects who actually are looking for what is it that you sell. So what I want you to do is I want you to find a LinkedIn influencer, someone who's a competitor of yours who sells something similar. It can be on LinkedIn, it can be on Facebook or X, doesn't matter. And then from there, I want you to go on their profile. Let's say that, for example, Dakota Robertson is one of your competitors. You go into their post. You're going to go specifically into lead magnet post. So a lead magnet post is a post where basically they share like a lot of value in exchange for like something, So they most of the time like they tell you, hey, comments this, and I'll send you a training on exactly how to do this stuff. Basically, what it tells you is that the people who comments, it gives you a signal that they're looking for something similar to what you do, And even for those other kind of posts, for example, this one, writing hack. Let's say that you're a ghostwriter, this is your competitor. All these people are people who can be potential clients of yours in this case, So what you'd want to do is first you'd want to actually scrape those posts, so you copy a link to post, Then from there, there's plenty of tools that you can use in order for you to scrape. You can use reconnect.io, you can use Taplio as well. There's plenty of tools. The tool, it doesn't really matter. Just find one and then from there do the thing. Then what you're going to do is you're going to send them a permission-based pitch. So a permission-based pitch is basically, instead of you pitching the person and saying, hey, I can help you do X, Y, and Z and X, Y, and Z, you basically say, hey, I have a process that helps us to do X, Y, and Z, and it gets us X, Y, and Z outcome. I recorded a 10-minute video or a 15-minute video on, sharing like our exact process, that we use in order for us to do X, Y, and Z. Is it cool if I send it here? Or you can say, what would be the best email in order for me to send it to you? In this case, what it's going to do is that people actually like that you ask for the permission. You'll see that that's like a mental thing. If I send the video, if I send like the VSL, it's not going to do as well as if I ask them if they want to see it in this case. So you basically go ahead and like send it to people. So you send the permission-based pitch. From there, you ask for their email in the permission-based pitch. And once they say yes, you'd go ahead and send them a VSL. Let me actually backtrack for a sec. By the way, this whole process is, of course, you leverage intent-based leads, but the strategy is to essentially send them a video sales letter. So a video sales letter is a video, that you create in order to pre-sell your prospects. It breaks down their beliefs, it shows them your results, and makes them like excited to actually talk to you, And stay there, because I'll show you like how to actually create it. I'll show you like our 16-step process. So stay on to the end, so that we can sit. But what we're doing here is that we're asking permission in order to send them the VSL in this case. So yeah, once they say yes, what you're going to do is you're going to take their email. And once you have that email, you now have that email itself is an asset. So you can now like put them into an email sequence, where you basically like send them emails over time. So we have a 6-step email sequence, that we can send, to prospects to make them book calls or watch like your VSL over time. From there, you go ahead and send them the VSL. And the surprising thing is that people, if you do your VSL correctly, and I'll show you how to do it, people end up self-booking. So they self-book in this case. So like think about it. You went from like being in the absolute, hoping for people to like go on a call with you, and you ask them, hey, would next week, work for you, to having people who basically self-book. When someone self-books, the level of like trust and the level of like intent is a lot higher. Therefore, it will make your job a lot more easier, And these are like the results that you can expect. So obviously your reply rate is going to go through the roof because you're asking for permission in this case. So people will be more likely to, because you're not selling something. You're just like, okay, I have this thing. I'm just sharing it with you. I think it could help, mind if I send it to you, Your reply rate is going to go through the roof because people love free stuff, So let's say that you do this with 500 people. From there, you're going to send like maybe 10% to 10% of those people a VSL. So 50 total VSL sent in this case. Your booking rates out of those is going to be 5%. Obviously because they've watched the video, it's going to increase your booking rates. So from there, you'll get 15 calls booked. Your show rate is going to be 80%, instead of 40%, because obviously they're a lot more excited. They've seen your process, they've seen your face, they know you, like you, and trust you. And then from there, you've taken 12 calls at this point, and your close rate end up being not 5% but 30%, because again, they know you, like you, and trust you. So with a 30% closing ratio, that would mean that you would have closed 4 clients in this case. With 4 clients, if you charge an average of $5K, that's basically $20,000 in new MR. Now, guess what? If you do this process every single week, every single month, basically that's 10 to 20,000 in new MR added every single month in this case. All right, so that's basically like the entire process, and basically like there's the in detail process. So obviously you send them the message, you ask permission, to send the VSL, so the assets. From there, you follow up with the person until they respond. You offer them a call, if they watch the video. From there, they book themselves in this case. And you can pause this if you want, and then from there, take the entire thing. But this is the sequence that we use. So obviously you send a pitch, the permission-based pitch. You follow up once, twice, and the third time, once they've requested the assets, you go ahead and send the assets. From there, you follow up again, and yeah, so you can follow this stuff, and you can copy it if you want, and yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to this. But let me actually show you how to create a KeyCast VSL. So I'll actually break down our own VSL. So basically, the key to a good VSL is making sure that people trust you first. So you want to start your VSL with typically a bold claim. Okay, so if you're watching this one, it's because you're curious to learn how we can help you get more clients, And basically, we actually go through it. Boom. Cool. So I'm going to explain how my company, leadsup.com can help you add an extra 500K in pipeline and book 20 plus warm sales calls with pre-sold prospects. When people see this, they're like, okay, wow, I want this, because it's a bold claim, and we can deliver on it. So therefore, I can put it on the page to wow people in this case. From there, once you've had that wow effect, the next thing is now for you to mitigate the risk, So, okay, we can get you this amazing outcome, but if it doesn't work for you, basically this is how we mitigate the risk. And as you can see, it says if it doesn't perform to the level in which it gets you 20 warm sales calls per month, then you pay nothing, So this is basically okay, this is the thing that you want. If you don't get the thing, this is how we mitigate the risk. Then from there, what we do is we go over case studies and clients, because again, people at this point, people don't trust you yet, So you need to show them how you can help people, So the more the more case studies, you can add in there, not too many because you don't want to bore people, but the more you can add in there, the better, So as you can see, boom, I'm well, we've helped this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy, and this guy, and it's okay. At this point, we go over the results. So okay, I trust this person. They've done the thing. Cool. Now let me pay attention. They can finally pay attention. Now that's typically when I like to include some education. So the key to really succeeding with that stuff is out educating people in this case. So I don't just want people to see the results. I want to educate them and create what I call, not necessarily what I call, but what you call an epiphany. Something that's going to shift how they think and how they view essentially your, basically how they view things in this case, how they do things in this case. Cool. So I go over okay, so this is basically the process. Again, boom, 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 epiphany. And then from there, we go into, again, results, our own results, Okay, we've been able to do this, and that, X amount of calls. These are some of the other people, that we've helped, do this stuff, in order to increase trust as well. We've helped this guy and this guy again, And then finally, there's a call to action, which is, hey, so if you like the process, if you feel like something like this could help, go ahead and schedule a call. That's basically the structure, that you need to have in order for you to create a KeyCast VSL. Intro, wow effect. From there, you basically make a bold claim. Once you've made that bold claim, you go ahead and mitigate the risk. You show them results. You explain your process. You create an epiphany, and at the end, you had other results as well. And then you had a call to action. That's basically the process. In order for you to create a KeyCast VSL. So you can basically like something like this too for you. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. So basically this is the process. From now on, I really want you to stop just sending messages, random messages to people. Leverage VSLs, leverage sales assets, send it to people in exchange for their email. And then from there, you go ahead and send it to as many people as possible, really. So you can do that on LinkedIn, you can do that on Facebook, you can do that on X, And the key to succeeding with this stuff is doing it to prospects who have more intent. So people who are looking for what you do in this case. That's how you crush it with this process. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you want to like really have, I mean, if you need help with something like this, you want us to build this exact process, you know, for your business, build the VSL, build the messaging, build like the entire thing, you know, basically there's going to be like a video down below that's going to break down again, like how we do things, how we work, you know, the different steps, you know, that we have. So you can go ahead and check that out. And from there, if you like what you see, go ahead and schedule a call, and it will be my pleasure to really help you do this stuff. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Peace.